Imagine waking up tomorrow and everything in your life is different. Your energy, your focus, your confidence, your results, faster than you ever thought possible. What if I told you that you don't need dozens of habits, endless planning, or more time in your day? What if I told you that just one single powerful daily routine done consistently could completely transform your health, your mind, your emotions, and your results? Today, I'm going to show you how to unleash that force inside of you, create unstoppable momentum, and take control of your life like never before. Are you ready to change everything? You know, most people spend their entire lives searching for transformation in all the wrong places. They look for it in big, complicated strategies, in huge life overhauls, in chasing multiple habits all at once. They think if I just do this and that and everything else, then finally maybe life will change. But here's the truth. Real unstoppable transformation doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing one thing consistently with absolute focus. One habit, one daily action that becomes the foundation upon which everything else is built. That's all it takes. You don't need 10 routines. You don't need hours of effort scattered across the day. You need one powerful, intentional routine. And when done consistently, it compounds in ways you can't even imagine. Think about it. Every extraordinary life you've ever admired, every person who seems to have it all together, they didn't get there by juggling chaos. They got there because they mastered one thing and they did it every day. That's the principle. One habit repeated daily becomes a force of nature in your life. It's the lever that moves everything else. And yet most people don't see it. They underestimate the impact of small, consistent action because our culture glorifies the dramatic. Do it all at once. Change everything immediately, they scream. But you and I know better. Transformation isn't an event. It's a process. It's a series of small, focused actions that compound relentlessly until suddenly you wake up one day and realize your life isn't just different, it's completely transformed. I want you to visualize something for a moment. Imagine planting a single seed in the soil. You water it every day, just a little, nothing fancy. You give it sunlight. You nurture it consistently. At first, nothing seems to happen. Days pass, weeks pass, months pass. You start questioning yourself. Is it even working? And then one morning you wake up and you see a tiny sprout, then it grows, then it blossoms. That one tiny seed cared for consistently becomes a tree, a life-giving, sheltering, unstoppable force of nature. That's exactly how a single daily habit works in your life. You nurture it consistently, and soon it begins to affect everything. Your energy, your focus, your relationships, your confidence, your success. One seed, one habit, one daily routine, and suddenly your life looks nothing like it did before. And here's the secret most people miss. It's not the complexity that drives change, it's the consistency. Complexity can overwhelm. Complexity can paralyze. Complexity can make you quit before you even start. But simplicity is powerful. When you choose one daily routine that aligns with your goals, your dreams, and your highest vision of yourself, you remove friction. You remove the excuses. You remove the noise that keeps you trapped in mediocrity. Suddenly, you're not just taking action, you're building momentum. And momentum is the magic that turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. Now, let's get practical for a moment. I'm not just talking about a vague idea of one routine. I'm talking about a concrete, specific action that you commit to every single day. Something that elevates your mind, strengthens your body, or grows your emotional and spiritual resilience. It might be 20 minutes of focused movement in the morning. It might be 10 minutes of visualization, writing down your goals and seeing yourself living them. It might be reading or listening to material that expands your thinking, that rewires your mind for success. Whatever it is, it must be intentional. It must be non-negotiable. And most importantly, it must be consistent. Because it's not the effort of one day that transforms your life. It's the compound effect of one habit, repeated daily over weeks, months, and years. Here's another thing most people don't understand. When you focus on one daily routine, it doesn't just create change in that one area. It radiates outward. It affects your energy levels. It affects your mindset. It affects your relationships. It affects your work performance. It changes the way you approach problems. You become more disciplined, more confident, more resilient. That one habit acts like a domino, setting off a chain reaction that touches every corner of your life. That's why I say it's not just a routine. It's a life lever. When you commit to it, when you honor it every single day, you're not just transforming yourself, you're transforming everything around you. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. One habit, that seems too simple. I want bigger results faster. And I get it. I used to think the same way. I used to believe that transformation had to be dramatic, monumental, life-altering overnight. But I learned the hard way. The truth is, sustainable, lasting change is never dramatic at first. It's subtle, It's invisible to the naked eye. It's the quiet work done consistently day after day that creates results you can't ignore. And once you experience the power of this principle, once you see how one routine can ripple through every aspect of your life, you'll never underestimate it again. You'll never waste time chasing dozens of scattered habits. You'll know exactly where your energy belongs, and you'll commit to it with everything you've got. I want to challenge you right now. Think about the one area of your life that, if transformed, would change everything else. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your mindset. Maybe it's your productivity. Whatever it is, identify the one daily action that would move the needle the most. Not 10 things, just one, and commit to it. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because there's a difference between knowing what to do and actually doing it consistently. The moment you start, the moment you take that first step, the momentum begins. And momentum is unstoppable when it's fueled by consistent action. And here's the final truth. You already have everything you need to create extraordinary change. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more willpower. You don't need more information. What you need is one daily habit that you honor without fail. That's it. That's all it takes to transform your entire life faster than you ever thought possible. Because once you master one habit, once you feel its power ripple through your days, you'll realize something amazing. You are unstoppable. Now is the time to commit, to take that one action, and to never look back. Think about the first hour of your day. The moment you open your eyes in the morning is more powerful than most people realize. It's not just the start of a day, it's the start of your life unfolding. The energy you bring into that first hour sets the tone for everything that follows. It dictates how you show up, how you react, how you perform, how you think, and yet most people treat it like just, their hour. They scroll their phones, hit snooze, grab coffee without thought, and stumble into the day like sleepwalking through life. But here's the truth. The way you spend your morning doesn't just affect your morning. It affects your entire existence. It's the gateway to your life, and the way you step through that gateway determines whether you're living intentionally or simply reacting to circumstances. Imagine waking up tomorrow and starting your day with a ritual that fuels your mind, energizes your body, and sharpens your focus. Imagine spending that first hour in a way that primes you for success, not just for a few hours, but for the entire day. You see, priming yourself isn't complicated. It doesn't require hours in the gym or complex meditations or endless routines. It's about creating a sequence of actions that ignite your energy, focus your mind, and center your emotions. It's about taking control of the first moments, because those moments dictate the rest. When you own your morning, you own your life. And let me tell you, priming yourself is a skill. It's not something that happens by accident. It's something you practice, something you commit to, something you make non-negotiable. Because your brain is wired to react first, think second. If you allow your morning to be reactive, checking messages, worrying about problems, thinking about the stress you'll face, you hand over your power to everyone and everything else. You let the world decide how you feel, how you act, and what you achieve. But if you take those same moments and use them intentionally, you become unstoppable. You take charge. You set the emotional, mental, and physical state that will carry you through every challenge, every opportunity, every interaction. Here's the secret. Your morning routine doesn't just prepare you, it transforms you. When you dedicate time each morning to your growth, your energy, your focus, and your mindset, you start the day from a position of strength. You're not reacting to life, you're creating life. Imagine spending 10 minutes moving your body in a way that wakes up every cell, 10 minutes focusing your mind on your goals, 10 minutes connecting with your purpose. That's 30 minutes. And it's enough to change the trajectory of your entire day. And the incredible part is, once you experience this consistently, you'll notice the ripple effects. Your productivity skyrockets. Your energy becomes contagious. Your confidence grows. Your clarity sharpens. 1 hour becomes your superpower, and that superpower transforms every day into a life-changing opportunity. Most people underestimate the emotional impact of a morning routine. They think it's just about discipline or productivity, but it's far deeper than that. The way you start the day determines your emotional state, which determines your choices, which determines your results. If you start scattered, stressed, and reactive, everything else will reflect that. Your decisions, your interactions, your creativity, your energy, they all suffer. But if you start focused, centered, and energized, you create momentum before the world even begins its chaos. You become unstoppable, not because life is easier, but because you are stronger, calmer, and more prepared than anyone around you. And here's something that will blow your mind. Your morning routine doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone around you. your family, your colleagues, your friends, even strangers. You influence them with the energy you carry. When you step into your day with focus and presence, it elevates everything in your life. When you step in distracted and reactive, it diminishes everything. That's why mastering your morning isn't selfish, it's essential. It's the foundation on which extraordinary us are built. I want you to think about this for a second. Every minute you spend in the morning is an investment. You're either investing in your growth, your energy, your focus, your mindset, or you're investing in stress, distraction, and mediocrity. And the return on that investment is exponential. A single hour done right compounds into days, weeks, months, and years of extraordinary results. It's like planting a seed every morning. Day by day, it grows stronger, taller, and more resilient until eventually it becomes a force that can't be stopped. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need anyone's permission to do it. You don't need more time, more money, more resources. You just need to decide that this hour is yours. Non-negotiable, untouchable, sacred. And the power of priming yourself isn't just in what you do, it's in how you do it. You must engage your body, your mind, and your emotions simultaneously. Movement energizes your body. Focused breathing calms and centers your mind. Visualization and intention setting fuel your emotions. When you combine these elements, you create a state of peak performance before most people even roll out of bed. That state carries through every conversation, every decision, every challenge you face. You become unstoppable, not because life has changed, but because you have changed. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I don't have time. My mornings are chaotic. I have too much to do. And I get it. Life is busy. But here's the truth. You don't find time. You make time. And when you realize the value of that 1 hour, you'll see that everything else in your life falls into place faster, easier, and with more clarity than ever before. It's not about adding more tasks. It's about shifting your energy. One focused hour can produce results that hours of distraction never could. That's the leverage. That's the magic. And the M, you commit to this, something incredible happens. You no longer chase motivation. It comes to you. You no longer struggle with focus. It becomes natural. You no longer feel drained, reactive, or scattered. You feel alive, empowered, and unstoppable. Your day becomes a reflection of the first hour, and your life becomes a reflection of your days. 1 hour done right is more than a routine. It's a statement. It's a declaration to the world that you are in control, that you are powerful, and that you are committed to extraordinary results. So I challenge you to start tomorrow. Own your morning. Don't react. Create. Don't drift. Prime. Move your body, focus your mind, center your emotions, and set your intentions. Take that 1 hour and make it sacred. Because once you master your mornings, you'll master your days. And once you master your days, you'll master your life. This is where your transformation begins. Your mind is the most powerful force in your life. It shapes your reality. It drives your actions. It determines your results. And yet most people leave it completely unmanaged. They allow every thought that pops into their head to run the show, every fear, every doubt, every negative belief to dictate their behavior. And then they wonder why life isn't working the way they want it to. Here's the truth. Your mind is not a passenger. It is a tool. It is a weapon. It is a force. And if you want to transform your life fast, you have to master it every single day. You have to program it intentionally, or it will program you by default. Most people think transformation comes from circumstances. Get a better job, earn more money, meet the right person, win the lottery. But the real power, the real transformation comes from inside. It comes from rewiring your mind to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to feel strength where others feel weakness, to act decisively where others hesitate. And the only way to do that is through consistent, intentional mental training, a daily practice that strengthens your mind like a muscle. Every time you visualize your goals, every time you affirm your strengths, every time you challenge a limiting belief, you are reshaping your neural pathways, creating a mind that automatically works for you instead of against you. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a computer. Every experience, every thought, every belief is programming it. If the programming is random, unmonitored, and negative, your results will be random, unmonitored, and negative. But if you consciously choose the programming, if you feed it thoughts of strength, clarity, and possibility, your results will be aligned, powerful, unstoppable. And that's why daily mental practice is non-negotiable. Just like you wouldn't leave your body untrained and expect it to perform at peak levels, you cannot leave your mind untrained and expect extraordinary results. Here's the beauty of it. The mind responds to repetition. One positive thought practiced once may have little effect, but repeated consistently, It rewires your identity. One vision of yourself as strong, capable, and successful may feel like fantasy the first day, but repeated consistently, it becomes your reality. This is why every successful person you admire spends time programming their mind. They know that the external world is a reflection of their internal state. They know that energy, focus, and clarity begin inside before they manifest outside. And they understand that daily practice, not occasional effort, creates unstoppable momentum. You see, the mind is not passive. It is constantly influencing your behavior, often without your conscious awareness. Every fear you have, every doubt you feel, every excuse you make is the result of programming that has been left you. And every success, every confident decision, every breakthrough you experience is the result of programming that has been reinforced. So the question is simple. Do you want your mind to control you, or do you want to control your mind? Do you want to react to life, or do you want to create it? The good news is the process is simple, even if it's not easy at first. Start with small, focused actions every day. Affirm your strengths, visualize your goals, write down what you want, speak to yourself with positivity, and challenge every limiting belief that arises. Don't just say, I want to be confident. Say, I am confident. I take action. I achieve results. Don't just dream about success. See it, feel it, live it in your mind before it appears in your life. The mind cannot distinguish between vivid imagination and reality. So when you practice this daily, you are literally training your mind to act as if your goals are already achieved. And that training repeated every day builds a mental state so strong, so unshakable that nothing in the external world can stop you. And here's the magic part. When your mind is programmed intentionally, your energy shifts. You stop wasting time on self-doubt and fear. You stop procrastinating. You stop being held back by hesitation and uncertainty. You move with clarity, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. Opportunities that once seemed invisible become obvious. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable become solvable. Your focus sharpens, your creativity awakens, your resilience strengthens. That is the power of daily mental programming, the power to transform your life faster than you ever imagined. But let's be real. This isn't about feeling good all the time. It's about being strong, focused, and unstoppable in the face of reality. It's about taking control of your inner state so that no matter what life throws at you, you respond with power, purpose, and precision. When you practice mental mastery daily, you become the architect of your destiny. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being a creator of results. And the best part is, it doesn't take hours, it takes consistency. 15 minutes a day done intentionally can reprogram your mind for success in ways that years of random effort never could. And this doesn't only affect your goals or your work, it affects every aspect of your life. Your relationships improve because you are present, confident, and calm. Your health improves because your mind no longer sabotages your choices. Your wealth grows because your focus, discipline, and clarity increase. Your entire life changes, not because the world has changed, but because you have changed inside. That's the power of daily mental programming, the compound effect of focus, repetition, and intentionality. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I'm too busy. I don't have time for all this mental work, and I understand life is demanding. But here's the secret. You already spend time thinking. You already spend time imagining. You already spend time running scenarios in your head. The question is, are you in control of that time, or is your mind running on autopilot? When you dedicate just a few minutes each day to intentional mental programming, you take back control. You stop reacting. You start creating. You start designing your life instead of being swept along by it. And once you feel the power of that shift, you'll never want to go back. So here's what I want you to do starting today. Choose the time, the method, the actions that will program your mind for success. Maybe it's visualization. Maybe it's affirmations. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's a combination of all three. Whatever it is, commit to it daily. Protect it. Honor it. Repeat it until it becomes automatic. Because when your mind is programmed intentionally, your life is transformed automatically. Remember this, your external reality is a reflection of your internal programming. Change the programming and you change everything. And the truth is, there is nothing standing in your way except the thoughts you continue to believe. Everything else, circumstances, people, resources, can be managed, adapted, and leveraged once your mind is operating at peak power. That is the real key to transformation. Not luck, not timing, not external factors. Your mind, your daily commitment to program it, shape it, and strengthen it. This is where your true power begins. Your energy is the currency of your life. Without it, nothing else matters. You can have the best plans, the clearest goals, the strongest mindset, but if your energy is low, if your body is tired, if your health is neglected, nothing will flow the way it's supposed to. Energy is not something that magically appears. It is something you create, something you cultivate, something you take responsibility for every single day. And the most powerful way to transform your life fast is to master your energy first. Because when you feel alive, vibrant, and unstoppable, every decision becomes easier, every action becomes faster, and every result becomes bigger. Think about the way most people live their lives. They complain about being tired. They rely on coffee, sugar, or quick fixes. They ignore their bodies until something breaks. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they can't focus, why success seems just out of reach. Here's the truth. Your body is the vehicle through which your life flows. If the vehicle is neglected, the destination doesn't matter. You can have the map, you can have the GPS, but if your car doesn't run, you will never arrive. That's why energy and health are not optional. Why are foundational? They are the fuel that powers every aspect of your transformation. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need hours in the gym or a perfect diet to start creating change. You need movement, you need nourishment, you need attention. Just a few minutes of focused exercise, a few conscious choices about what you eat and drink, and a few intentional moments to breathe and recharge can completely shift your energy. When you move your body, you wake up every cell, you release stress, you increase circulation, and you signal to your mind that you are alive, present, and ready to conquer the day. When you fuel your body with water, nutrients, and real food, you give it the ability to function at peak levels, to think clearly, and to respond with strength. And when you take a moment to center yourself, breathe deeply, and connect with your purpose, you charge your emotional battery so that you can face whatever comes with resilience and clarity. Here's the secret most people miss. Energy drives everything. Your focus, your productivity, your creativity, your emotional stability, all of it begins with how you feel in your body. And the moment you start prioritizing your energy, everything else becomes easier. Tasks that once seemed impossible now feel doable. Decisions that once felt heavy now feel light. Challenges that once seemed overwhelming now feel like opportunities. When your energy is high, your life flows in a way that feels effortless. And the incredible part is, this doesn't take a lifetime of effort. It takes intentional daily choices repeated consistently that transform your body, mind, and emotions. Let's talk about emotions for a second because they're directly tied to your energy. When you are drained, anxious, or stressed, your emotions take over. You react instead of respond. You see problems instead of solutions. You feel stuck instead of empowered. But when you consciously create energy in your body, your emotions stabilize. You feel confident, you feel calm, you feel capable, and that state, that energy becomes the foundation for everything else in your life. You can solve problems faster, connect with people more deeply, and take action more decisively. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You are in control of your state. And when you are in control of your state, you are in control of your results. And the beauty of energy is that it compounds just like habits do. One day of movement, one healthy meal, one intentional breath may feel small, but repeated consistently, it transforms your life. Your body becomes stronger. Your mind becomes sharper. Your emotions become more resilient. And all of this happens silently underneath the surface until one day you realize that everything feels different. You feel unstoppable. You feel alive. You feel like you're operating at a level most people only dream of. That is the power of energy mastery. That is the power of prioritizing your health and vitality. That is the power of investing in yourself first so everything else flows. Now, let's get practical. You don't need a complicated system. Start simple. Move your body. Stand up. Stretch, walk, run, jump, shake off the lethargy, hydrate, drink water like your life depends on it because it does. Feed your body real nutrients, avoid the processed, the artificial, the things that weigh you down, and take a few intentional minutes to breathe deeply, to focus on your purpose, to visualize the energy you want to carry throughout the day. Make this a non-negotiable daily routine. Protect it, honor it, defend it like your life depends on it, because in a very real way, it does. Here's another thing most people don't realize. When you elevate your energy, you elevate your minds. And when you elevate your mindset, you elevate your results. Energy drives focus. Focus drives clarity. Clarity drives action. And action drives results. It's a chain reaction, and it all starts with your body. That's why elite performers, high achievers, and unstoppable people treat their energy like gold. They don't take it for granted. They know that no strategy, no plan, no goal will succeed without the foundation of high energy. And the moment you start operating at that level, you start attracting opportunities, people, and circumstances that match your state. Energy is contagious, and when you radiate vitality, the world responds to you differently. And here's the real breakthrough. You don't need perfect health to start. You don't need to wait until tomorrow, next week, or next month. You start exactly where you are with exactly what you have, and you make intentional choices every day that build your energy, strengthen your body, and empower your mind. Consistency, not perfection, is the key. One step forward every day compounds into massive transformation over time. And the incredible part is the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Your body responds, your mind responds, your emotions respond. You start to feel unstoppable, alive, and capable of anything. So I challenge you right now to make a commitment every day. Invest in your energy, move your body, fuel it properly, center your mind, charge your emotions, make this non-negotiable. Treat your energy like the most valuable asset in your life, because it is. Because when your energy is high, everything else in your life accelerates. You don't just get more done, you get more done with clarity, with power, with focus, and with joy. You don't just survive, you thrive. And that is the foundation for fast, unstoppable transformation in every area of your life. This is the moment to take control, to prioritize your energy, and to build a foundation that will carry you to extraordinary results. Emotions are the invisible force behind every action you take, every decision you make, and every result you achieve. And yet, most people treat their emotions as something that happens to them, something outside of their control. They let frustration, fear, or doubt dictate their behavior, and then they wonder why their lives aren't working the way they want. The truth is, emotional mastery is not optional. It is essential. If you can learn to take control of your emotions, to manage them, to direct them toward your goals, you unlock a level of power and resilience that can accelerate your transformation faster than anything else, because your emotions aren't just feelings. They are energy in motion, and they drive your thoughts, your actions, and ultimately your results. Think about it for a moment. How often do you react to situations rather than respond? How often does anger, fear, or frustration push you into decisions that aren't aligned with your goals? Every time you allow your emotions to run the show, you give away your power. You let the circumstances of your life dictate your state instead of using your state to shape the circumstances. But here's the good news. Emotions can be mastered. They can be channeled. They can be transformed from obstacles into fuel, from distractions into momentum. And the way to do it is through daily practice, through awareness, and through intentional action. The first step is awareness. You have to become conscious of what you are feeling in every moment. Most people go through life on autopilot, reacting without noticing, without thinking, without choosing. But when you become aware of your emotional state, something remarkable happens. You create a space between stimulus and response. That space is power. In that space, you can choose. You can say, I will not let fear stop me. I will not let frustration control me. I will respond with clarity, with purpose, with strength. Awareness is the first step to mastery, because you cannot change what you do not recognize. Once you are aware, the next step is to manage your emotions intentionally. This doesn't mean suppressing them or pretending they don't exist. It means using them as energy to drive you forward. It means understanding that anger can be transformed into focus, fear can be transformed into courage, doubt can be transformed into determination. Every emotion has a function. Every emotion is energy. And when you learn to direct that energy, you can turn challenges into opportunities, obstacles into fuel, and setbacks into momentum. Emotional mastery is not about controlling life. It's about controlling yourself within life so that no matter what comes, you are unstoppable. Here's something most people never realize. Your emotional state is not dictated by external circumstances. It is dictated by your physiology and your focus, the way you move your body, the way you breathe, the way you think, and the way you focus your attention all determine how you feel. Change your physiology and you change your state instantly. Stand tall, breathe deeply, lift your chest, move your body, and your emotions shift. Focus on what is possible, what you can control, what excites you, and your emotional state transforms. You don't need to wait for life to give you a reason to feel strong. You can create that reason anytime you choose. That is the essence of emotional mastery. And here's the key: consistency compounds. Practicing emotional control once or twice isn't enough. You need to make it a daily ritual. Every day, take time to reflect, to assess, to consciously choose your emotional state. Every day, practice resilience, gratitude, focus, and clarity. Every day, take control of the energy in your body and the focus in your mind, because emotional mastery is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes, And the stronger it becomes, the more unstoppable you are. Now, let's talk about the impact of emotional mastery. When you learn to control your emotions, your life transforms in ways that are almost magical. You communicate more effectively because you are present and calm. You make better decisions because you are focused and clear. You take bolder actions because you are fearless and empowered. Your relationships improve because you are emotionally available and centered. Your career accelerates because you respond with precision and confidence. And the best part is, this transformation doesn't require external change. It begins inside. The moment you master your emotional state, everything else aligns. But mastery is not just about controlling negative emotions. It's also about amplifying positive ones. Joy, gratitude, excitement, passion. These are not just feelings, they are fuel. When you learn to generate them intentionally, when you learn to live in a state of high energy and positive emotion, your actions become effortless, your results become inevitable, and your life becomes extraordinary. Positive emotions attract positive experiences because the energy you radiate shapes the world around you. You cannot underestimate the power of emotional momentum, the simple practice of choosing how you feel every moment, every day. And the reality is life will always challenge you. Problems will arise. Setbacks will happen. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will feel impossible. But the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is simple. It's emotional mastery. The difference is the ability to stay centered, focused, and energized, no matter what life throws at you. It's the ability to respond with strength instead of reacting with fear. It's the ability to see opportunity in every challenge, to find clarity in very chaos, and to generate momentum in the face of resistance. That is the edge that separates ordinary lives from extraordinary lives. Here's the truth. Emotional mastery is not something you wait to learn later. It's not something that happens after success. It is the foundation of all success. The moment you take responsibility for your emotions, the moment you stop letting them control you, the moment you consciously choose how to feel and how to act, you gain power over your life that no one and nothing can take away. And the incredible part is, it doesn't take years of training. It takes awareness, it takes practice, and it takes commitment. Start today, practice daily, protect your emotional state, choose your energy, choose your focus, choose yourself. And here's the challenge I want to leave you with. In every situation you face, in every conversation, in every challenge, ask yourself, am I letting this control me or am I controlling it? Because the answer will determine whether you are living in reaction or in creation. And if you choose creation, if you choose mastery, if you choose to direct your emotions with power and precision, you will unlock potential you didn't even know existed. You will operate at levels of clarity, focus, and energy that others only dream about. You will transform your life faster than you ever thought possible simply by mastering yourself from the inside out. The moment you take control of your emotions, you take control of your life. Momentum is the single most powerful force you can create in your life. You see, success, transformation, and extraordinary results don't happen in a vacuum. They don't happen by chance. They happen because someone built unstoppable momentum. And once that momentum is in motion, it carries them forward faster and more powerfully than any outside force could. Most people wait for motivation to strike, for conditions to be perfect, for the world to hand them opportunity. But the truth is, momentum doesn't wait. Momentum is created, and it is sustained by action, consistency, and the daily choices you make. The moment you understand this, the moment you harness this, your entire life can change faster than you ever imagined. Let me paint a picture for you. Think of a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small, almost insignificant. You might think that's not going to do much, but as it rolls, it picks up speed, it picks up mass, it becomes unstoppable. By the time it reaches the bottom, it has transformed from a small, seemingly powerless object into a force that cannot be stopped. That is exactly how momentum works in your life. Each action you take, each decision you make, each habit you practice consistently adds to the momentum. At first, it may feel slow. At first, the results may seem invisible. But with time, energy, and the momentum builds, and suddenly your life is moving in a direction you never thought possible. Most people underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. They think transformation comes from dramatic leaps, giant decisions, or perfect timing, but that's an illusion. The real power is in daily, consistent effort, the things you do every day, no matter how small, that compound into unstoppable results. It's not the single perfect action that changes your life. It's the accumulation of actions, one after another, repeated with focus and intensity. And the incredible part is, once momentum begins, it doesn't just carry you forward physically, it carries your confidence, your clarity, your energy, and your focus. Momentum creates a state where you operate at peak performance almost effortlessly because the system of your habits and actions is now working for you. Here's the truth. Momentum is not just about movement. It's about direction. You can be busy all day and feel like you're moving forward, but if you're not aligned, if your actions are scattered, if your focus is divided, you're actually losing power. Momentum requires clarity. Momentum requires purpose. Every small action you take must be aligned with the life you want to create, the goals you want to achieve, and the person you want to become. When you align your actions with your vision, every step reinforces the next. You create a force that is almost magnetic, drawing opportunities, people, and results toward you. That is the true power of momentum. And here's the part most people miss. Momentum is not reserved for a lucky few. It's not something you're born with, and it's not something that depends on perfect conditions. Momentum is created by anyone who decides to take consistent action day in and day out with focus and intensity. It starts with one decision, one action, one habit. And that is why daily routines are so powerful, because a single intentional action repeated consistently becomes the engine of your momentum. It's the spark that sets the snowball rolling. And once it's rolling, the results compound, accelerating faster than you could imagine. Think about the people who inspire you, the people who seem to achieve more in a year than most do in a decade. They didn't get there by waiting. They got there by creating momentum. They understood that every small effort, every choice, every action was a contribution to an unstoppable force. And the difference between them and everyone else is that they refused to quit. They kept the snowball rolling no matter the obstacles, no matter the setbacks, no matter the fears or doubts. They understood that momentum is a choice, and once it begins, it becomes self-reinforcing. Energy creates more energy. Action creates more action. Success creates more success. That is the law of momentum in life. But here's the challenge. Momentum can also work against you if you are inconsistent, reactive, or distracted. Most people experience the power of momentum in reverse. They let small failures or missed action snowball into stagnation, frustration, and doubt. One skipped day becomes two. Two skipped days become a week. And suddenly the snowball is no longer rolling. It is stuck, stagnant, powerless. That is why commitment is non-negotiable. Momentum is fragile at the beginning, and it requires focus, consistency, and discipline to get it moving. Once it's moving, it becomes unstoppable, but the start requires courage, intentionality, and relentless persistence. And let me tell you this, momentum is not just about external results. It's also internal. When you create momentum in your actions, it builds your confidence. It reinforces your belief in yourself. It strengthens your emotional resilience. Every time you take consistent action, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you are committed, that you are unstoppable. And that inner momentum, the confidence, the belief, the energy is what allows you to take even bigger actions, make bolder decisions, and achieve extraordinary results that others would consider impossible. Now, here's the practical part. Momentum starts with a decision to act, a decision to commit, a decision to keep moving no matter what. Then it requires consistency, showing up every day, doing the work, building the habits that compound over time. And finally, it requires alignment, making sure your actions, your habits, and your energy are all moving toward the same vision, the same goals, the same life you want to create. When these three forces, decision, consistency, and alignment come together, momentum is unstoppable. It carries you through fear, through obstacles, through setbacks, and propels you toward success faster than you ever imagined. And here's the most exciting part. Once momentum is in motion, it transforms everything. Your energy increases, your confidence grows, your clarity sharpens, your results accelerate. Opportunities appear that you never noticed before. People respond to your energy differently. Challenges that seemed impossible now become solvable. Your life begins to shift, not gradually, but exponentially. That is the power of momentum. That is why one consistent daily routine, the one habit we talked about earlier, is so transformative. It's the seed of momentum, the spark that ignites unstoppable change, the foundation for every breakthrough, every success, and every victory you will ever experience. And the final truth is this: momentum doesn't wait. Life doesn't wait. Opportunities don't wait. The longer you delay, the more time is lost, and the easier it becomes to fall back into stagnation. But the moment you decide, the moment you act, the moment you commit to one consistent daily habit, momentum begins, and once it begins, nothing can stop it. It will carry you forward. It will elevate your energy. It will sharpen your mind. It will stabilize your emotions, and it will transform your life faster than you ever thought possible. The moment you create momentum, you create unstoppable power in your life.